So, it all starts when you go to an aquarium store to get some small fish, like maybe guppy for instance. And then you stumble on what looks like a cool little predatory fish. And while predatory fish might look cool and awesome, they are actually a total red flag. What's up my aquatic friends, Raja here, and this is Taj Mahal Aquatics, your source of fun fish content and everything about the world of fish keeping. I must admit that predatory fish are my favorite kinds of fish, but I must also admit that these kinds of fish are also a red flag. Look, I have nothing against these kinds of fish, and I also clearly mentioned previously that these kinds of fish are my favorite kinds of fish, but unfortunately, they are a red flag for some, or maybe most of you. And I'm gonna show you the brutal reality of predatory fish that can make them a red flag for you. And once you know the true side of these fish, you may wanna run away from them. Ready to see the dark reality of these fish? Let's dive in, shall we? If you are ready.
Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just me, your body, and mine.
They may be cool, but did you know what bothers me about these fish? They are marketed in a misleading way. Wait, what does that mean? Why do I say they are marketed misleadingly? Let me explain it to you. When you walk into the fish store, let's say you may aiming for some small aquarium fish at first, like maybe some tetras and guppies. And then you saw something cooler, like the alligator gar for instance. And then you pick the gar over other small fish. And the store guy says nothing, or even worse, they say, yeah, it'll stay small for a while. No need to worry, he's just a cool fish. And that's how they are misleadingly marketed for you. What you didn't know is that most predatory fish are sold as juveniles. And sadly, almost all new fish keepers didn't know about it. And the worst part is that the storekeeper or the employee didn't tell you, or even worse, tell the opposite. Look, of course not all fish stores are like this, and there are also some fish stores that are responsible enough to warn you about these fish, but there are also some stores that also didn't, and they just packed whatever you choose. These fish shouldn't even fall to someone's hand for obvious reasons, and you may wonder why.
Don't leave me high and dry. Baby, you get me out there fine. You're gently weaned.
Remember when you see them small at the store? Well, that small awesome fish won't last long. It may start it cutely small at the store when you see them. Well, that small thing won't last long. Now, why would I say so? Because they are actually humongous. And this is why they should be 1,000 miles away from beginners and not believing the misleading shopkeeper's word. These fish start small and cute at the store, but wait till next year. They will be 3, 4, 5, or even worse, 8 to 10 feet long. Now you tell me, how on earth a normal person keeps a 10 feet fish in a 30-gallon? Unless you have a massive property where you can make a fake Lake Tahoe, it may not be a problem. But if you live in a studio apartment where you can barely afford the rent, it's a whole different story. And while there are also some predatory fish that's still able to be kept in an aquarium, there are also some predatory fish that are not for aquarium at all. And some of them can reach 3, 4, or 5 feet, or even worse, some can also reach 8 feet, or maybe 10 if possible. And if you think the size is already the worst thing, wait till I show you another worst thing.
Baby, you
if you think the size is already bad enough, wait till you know how fast they grow. Do you know what other thing that makes these kinds of fish a red flag apart from the fact they are gargantuan? How fast they grow. These fish are big, and some even bigger than you think. And to make matters worse, they grow fast. And I guess to say that they grow is an understatement. They bloom up. You don't need to wait a year to see how far they grow. Just wait for a month, and you should see some significant change in size. If you could see a significant change in a month, what about in a whole year? It'll be overwhelming for a new fish keepers or those who didn't care much about fish. There may be some that didn't grow that fast, but there are also some or many of these kinds of fish that do grow fast. And this is why you should never believe when someone says that fish will stay small because you put them in a small aquarium. These kinds of fish grow faster than Kimi Antonelli's journey to F1 to replace Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes. Imagine the size is already a problem, let alone how ridiculously fast some of these fishes grow. They get big, they grow fast. What else can make them a red flag? Their compatibility. Although some of these fishes are not that bad in terms of compatibility, I must say that these fish are a hit or miss in terms of compatibility, and I will tell you why. The majority of predatory fish are aggressive, and they will also eat whatever that fits in their mouth, which is an obvious thing as they are predatory animals. But even with other predatory fish, things are not so easy in terms of compatibility. Yes, you may see these kinds of fish with other predatory fish or even in a community tank with other predatory fish, but trust me, combining these kinds of fish is more of a hit or miss and not as easy as you think. Those other fish might be bullied by these kinds of fish, or even worse, they might be a dinner for these kinds of fish. Even if you get them another predatory fish, it's not a guarantee they're gonna live bullying free, even with the same or bigger size predatory fish, let alone with a non-predatory fish, especially if the fish is smaller, as they gonna be a dinner in no time. Sometimes they treat the community tank like a park, and sometimes they treat it like a boxing ring or even worse, a buffet. Getting them along with other fish is a rather hit or miss situation. But what about those who has a predatory fish? Are they a hit or miss with a tank mates? Let me know in the comment section. The size may spook you more than the compatibility, but this last one is a lot more serious than you think, and you could face some serious consequences. These kinds of fish may not only get you in trouble with the care, but also with the law. You may not know this, but some predatory fish are banned in some areas or countries. And many countries have banned these kinds of fish for ecological reasons. So, you may not be able to see some of these predatory fish in your area. And if you do find it for sale, I would advise you to stay away from it. Because if you still have the audacity to buy it, you may face some serious consequences, my friend. And you may end up as a prisoner for life. So, don't buy it if it's illegal, unless you want to spend your whole life in prison or are clever enough to dodge from the law.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight oil.
So there you have it. That's why these fishes are a total red flag for many of you. And look, I have nothing against these fish. It's just that there should be some warning about these fish. Sure, they look cool and awesome for many of us, and I actually like them personally, but there's a cost that you need to know about keeping these fish, whether it's the problem with the care, or worse, with the law. If you didn't know, some of them are illegal. So that's a wrap for this video, and do you think that predatory fish should be a red flag? Let me know in the comment section below, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this video, and share this video to your friends to warn them about these kinds of fish. And if you want to see more cool fish content from this channel, make sure to subscribe because there will be more to come. Thanks for watching my aquatic friends, and have a wonderful aquatic life. See you in the next video.